What's up, guys? We are live from the Brojo for another episode of Fictional Fight Club.
Woo!
I'm your host, Kian Not Keith, and I am here today with...
The interrupted Eli.
Don't give a shit, I just didn't know he was going to keep going.
Regular guy Zach.
Depressing person Gil.
Nearly.
Can you just be sad, Gil?
How about
No.
How about he laughed so hard he almost puked, Gil?
What about depressed Gil, or just depressing Gil?
No, there needs to be that split between the adjective and my name.
I like the one I said. Laughed so hard you almost puked, Gil.
Yeah.
I thought you were like, I like my title. I'm just regular guy Zach. Good fucking job.
I mean, it is a pretty decent title.
I'm just a regular guy.
Yeah.
Fucking Kiss Army soldier since 97. Yeah, I was born, bitches.
Was Paula just jamming out to Kiss while you were coming out?
That must have been shit.
Well, let's see.
What does the poll say?
No, besides that. What have you, I guess, before we go into this, yeah, it's Patamon Vs Pickachu. Battle of the tiny rat people.
People?
By the way, one's
They're not
essentially
people.
a hamster, the other one's a mouse.
They
Either
just
of them is
give
rats.
It is not a
That's actually a very
fish guy.
interesting thing. If Digimon and Pokemon were real, that'd be a real fucking subject if they got rights. Especially Digimon, because they're actually like sentient life, but they're
I would
computer programs. So.
Believe Digimons would get rights? Question marks?
I also would, but the world works in fucked up ways.
Or they
I
would
don't
be
know
a
what
cheap
Japan's
labor
government-
force and then be treated
So
as
they're
slaves?
slaves.
Yeah.
Pokemon would be pets.
Would they though?
I think the smaller
Some
ones.
of them talk.
The smaller ones, maybe.
But what about Mewtwo?
But he's a genetically modified Pokemon that, like, they would just say...
It's like saying if we make a genetically modified dog, is he now a person? Who fucking knows?
If
He's
he can
still
walk
a
on
dog.
2 legs without going back down to the floor, maybe.
In the shows,
Gotta
like,
walk on two
the
legs.
only time anything talks is when it's a legendary. And even then, they generally just leave that up in the movie.
Kind of like psychic
I don't know. There's no like.
bonds, though, too.
There never seems to be.
It's not really
central,
talking, it's just like a psychic link.
Yeah, there never seems to be a central government in Pokemon, so I guess no one would be able to make that decision anyway.
You mean like when Pikachu
There was a
talked to
government,
Ash?
though, because they fought a war.
They had a war, yeah.
This
Lieutenant Surge, am I right? You saved me in the war.
Fucking war. Alright, what are we doing?
Lieutenant Surge now. I guess so. We have
We never answered the questions, video game questions, by the way.
Oh yeah, we did have one, right?
I don't know if we had any. I'm just saying
What,
we didn't answer any.
Oh, we had one. Jared Hansen asked. Shit, I totally forgot about this. It was even
Fucking
on
different
the,
episode?
it was on the page. We also answer questions on this too.
We do, yeah.
So like, Jared Hansen asked like,
Do you want to save it for those questions?
yeah, we can just do it right now.
I don't give a fuck.
We'll just say I have the questions now. I have the
Oh,
questions
okay.
here. Jared Hansen asked about zombies and like how can it be refreshed because he really likes zombies.
I mean, it's
I think he means COD zombies too. So
for being
Probably.
specific, then just completely leave it to Treyarch, and every 3 years you're gonna get something at least more polished than the turds that they've been slipping in between.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think you can refresh it because it's been done so many times. Like, there's ways that it can still be fun. They can
The
still make
zombie
it.
genre in itself just needs to take a break.
Needs to die and never come back to life.
but that's not how zombies work,
I know.
Eli.
It's never gonna happen.
I just don't like it. But anyway, I don't know. They can still make zombies fun, but not. It'll never be
Fresh.
as fun
As when it first
as
came out?
yeah, in like World at War and stuff. It'll never be that much fun again.
Because we've adapted to it.
Yeah, you're so used to it now. Like if they didn't release it on a COD game,
Up
like
in
if
arms.
Treyarch was just like, yeah, we don't have zombies this time, I think people would riot. Despite the fact that every time they do, people are like, oh, it's not as fun as it should be. It's like, why do you
Not as
keep
good as
fucking
it
asking
is.
for it then? I
It's
don't know.
like on the poll. What do you want? COD mod zombies. Just that entire game.
Call
just
of
a
Duty
game.
dogs.
I kind of just want a story-driven Call of Duty Zombies because I very much like story.
I mean, they had that, and it was convoluted and really weird.
Yes, but like a consecutive story with.
It
more
seems
than
like
just
the
surviving
one in
rounds.
Fucking stories in Call of Duty aren't consecutive, so it'd be
It
hard
kind of
to
seems
do
like the
that.
one in 4 might have something. Because
Yeah.
I think the 4 characters in the Titanic one were the same in the other one.
They were. It's
But just
all
because of
weird.
characters.
But they went back and became fucking gladiators.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know. So
Oh yeah, someone asked us, what did you guys think about Han Solo?
Oh fuck, we never even did that.
Well, might as well just answer it here.
we usually do the review on the tangent, though.
Yeah, but I thought we were doing Fictional Fight Club.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
combination of both.
Oh, okay.
That's usually what it is, because, like, talk, and then we talk about who wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Solo.
Solo was a pretty decent, entertaining flick.
I thought Solo was okay. Like, I like it more than The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, but I like Rogue One a lot more.
Leaps and bounds above The
Right.
Last Jedi.
I think it's way better than The Last Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
where like The Last Jedi to me is just kind of just, I think we were talking about this off mic, just kind of shits on like just everything for me that like The Force Awakens did. Where like The Force Awakens was okay, it was a shaky okay, but like I was hoping to see where they would go with these characters, and they're like, all right, everyone hated it, so we're not gonna do anything with these
Yeah.
characters, and
You're like, remember that movie we had? Ignore almost everything except that Rey met Luke, and then that's the movie we're going with.
And that she could use the Force and summon it within 30 minutes.
Fucking guess.
I feel okay again with that. Like the thought of that is that I think they were going with the idea that because Anakin was also extremely force sensitive though. Like he didn't do like ridiculous shit like that, but like in Episode 1 you could tell he was very force sensitive. So I think that's like the goal they were going with.
But instead of actually like making it something that would be surprising, they're like, fuck all of that. She's a Mary Sue now.
Yep.
But that's the thing, like, everything about her character, I don't think was really Mary Sue until The Force, where, like, she had time to, like, learn half the shit she was doing
Yes.
on Jakku.
I will give you that. That is very much
the
true.
only Mary Sue part of it, because, like, a lot of people's complaints of Rey was that everything she did was Mary Sue, but, like, she was much older than Anakin, where I think Anakin is much more of a Mary Sue in the prequels.
What the fuck is Mary Sue?
Where,
A
like, they're
character
just
that can
good
do
at
everything.
Oh.
It's just usually based on women because like men will put Mary Sue and like Laura Croft as a Mary Sue, but then they won't say that about Nathan Drake because he's a dude. Like that's a legit
That's something
thing.
that always crosses my mind, especially with those characters, because it's like they're archaeologists who are also just better than like trained military personnel.
Marksmen,
Mercenaries.
We're
They have the upper
Rey
body
is
strength of a fucking assassin
Right.
from Assassin's
where Rey
Creed.
is like a young adult, where you can understand like because she's been on Jakku this whole entire time that she knows the inner workings of machines and piloting and stuff like that. Anakin
Not
was
really piloting.
you know what I mean though, like.
The machines, yeah.
But Anakin was a small fucking child when he's like, I built C-3PO all by myself. And all this shit like that. I'm just like, I don't know.
To be fair, that could just be even the future in real life, where it's just like, think of how the older generation perceives people who grew up now. They're so fucking tech savvy. They
But
know
this-
how to work this shit.
But this
How?
was a long time ago.
So, yeah.
They can
Our-
program a microwave clock.
So our kids are gonna be fucking building robots. You're gonna be like, how
I know,
the
but
fuck
like,
do they do
my
that?
thing about this is that like, you don't see Luke doing that in the original series. Like, he doesn't do that shit. He's just a kid who apparently can fly an X-wing and.
You kind of see that. Like he does. I mean, he's more of a farmer than anything, though.
Right, exactly, but like my thing is like, how is a slave able to get these robot parts to like build this shit, but yet like
Scraps.
I
Luke has
assumed,
to,
yeah, I
like, buy-
assumed he always got them from Watto.
Right.
Shit.
But Luke and his uncle just go and buys one. I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
And also, like, they say they're slaves, but they still live in their own house and stuff.
Right.
So it's like,
I mean, but
he
you
must-
know what I mean
he
though.
must
Where
have
like there's a
some
lot of
fucking
other
income
shit where
somehow.
like the Mary Sue-ness of Rey to me, I think should basically be voluntary, beyond the fact that she was able to use the Force so well.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
it's her skills as like a protagonist beforehand to get her out of a situation and should not dub her a Mary Sue.
I mean, the fighting, a little bit, but that's...
But she's also had...
It's skirmishes, but not like an actual fight
right,
with someone that's
skirmish
trained.
and combative fights. But like...
Yeah, how she holds her own against Kylo Ren, I don't get.
It could also come to the idea that like Kylo Ren is not at full game.
No,
though,
but
you know
it
what I
shows
mean?
in the beginning that he literally just stops lasers.
Right.
With just doing
But this is also Kylo Ren, like,
Oh,
just
yeah.
batshit crazy
Yeah, no.
Kylo Ren, too. So we
Not really.
I thought he was, like, angry when he was fighting Rey.
I
He
mean,
was-
the
he was
whole
pretty
point is to
composed.
be angry. But yeah, he was. It's weird how anger. You're supposed to refine it into a tool, not just unbridled.
But I felt his was more unbridled and not a tool.
Not when he's fighting her.
Not when he-
Like,
okay.
he gets injured and he's just kind of not shrugs it off, but he doesn't like fucking outburst and get super pissed off.
It's like, you got
It's,
me,
it's
I'm
not
telling
like a
my mom.
it's not like a Kratos type of rage
We're like,
where he's just
He
like, I'm gonna
changes it.
rip off your skull and fuck it. I mean, it's not that bad.
well,
Does he
that
actually say that?
got a little
Kratos,
deep.
no,
No.
he does rip off people's heads though,
Yeah.
Fuck some of
and he fucks a lot of people.
Apparently.
Unless it's in the new God of War game, there's no sex at all.
Oh,
Well, then you just took away the most appealing prospect of those games.
Most likely. Did you ever read some of the articles that people are mad that like
oh yeah.
the God of War? No, they're mad because the creators of God of War said like we had to grow the character. He's no longer just this angry, toxic person. And people are like, "Wow, way to be a social justice warrior about this stuff." I'm like,
Character growth is something that happens in
Yeah,
the
I was like-
I mean, it makes sense. It's like he is now old.
he's not older, and he's like, man, maybe some of the fucked up angry shit I did was probably a little out of line, but like,
Not even that, but he had a reason to be angry at
Right.
the Greek gods, and so he was like, "Oh man, really fucked up this universe. I'm gonna get out of here." And then he goes to the Norse one. He's like, "Yeah, I don't have any reason to be super pissed
and
off."
I'm
anymore."
trying not to fuck people up, but people just keep fucking with me, and I'm,
Yeah. So anyway,
but like,
I don't know. Back to Solo.
I really enjoyed it for what it
A
was.
Star Wars story.
I think
He
I
was
like.
all alone for a while
I
because
think
it was
the
so
one thing. See,
A
I
Star
fucking
Wars
hate
story.
that part though. That part really
If you
got
didn't
me.
know, the entire time in the theater, I guess Zach was making those jokes.
Yeah.
I stopped to go.
Like every time he was alone, I was like, "He's alone because this is Solo, a
That's
Star Wars
No, what I
story."
mean is like how Han Solo gets his name. I'm just like, all right.
I don't know. It kind of
What
makes
people?
sense.
You see how he shot that one laser? It was one because it was Solo.
I
a
didn't
Star
mind.
Wars story.
Like it was very predictable, but I didn't mind the way they did it.
I did
Right,
not
'Cause
see
it's,
the
it's
ending
not
coming.
like grandiose or anything,
Yeah,
which
it's
kind of
just-
fits his character.
He just kind of is like, all right, well, this is your
it's
name.
just
And
yeah,
he's
it's just
"Oh."
like the officer's just like, yeah, fuck it, Solo. There you
Yeah.
go.
I do really like that, like when you get to know how you get to know Han Solo. I feel like parts of it seemed a little bit rushed, but it is a movie where like I feel
Yeah.
a lot of like they
Also-
did the Kessel, combination of meeting Lando, the Kessel, and everything else. Just is all kind of like I feel like maybe they could have made it into a 2-part movie.
Yeah, but
Like-
it probably would have pissed people off.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I really, goddamn, in the beginning, they're in those spoilers, I guess, just before we go into
Spoilers.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking-
Spoilers.
But, when they're in that fucking speeder that he, like, steals, I feel like he's going, like, 30 miles an hour. It doesn't look like he's going fast ever in that thing.
Yeah.
They play it
Yeah.
off to be, like, a high-speed chase. It's just like, man, I feel like he's not going very fast.
I'm also really glad we didn't have obnoxious fucking people in the movie theater where the jokes that if you had a group of people, you'd hear people go,
To be fair, he and I were those obnoxious people.
At some
Not
points,
really. You were too loud.
it
Yeah,
wasn't
no.
at everything though.
Yeah,
like,
and that's it wasn't
like when we went to Deadpool.
He's talking about the type of people who, like, when the officer was
Obnoxious
like,
laughs.
Solo people, and like,
oh my
Oh,
Solo.
we said it!
Yeah. No, it's that was
A
that
Star
that
Wars
Deadpool
story.
crowd kind of like I don't want to be a dick. Maybe made me notch my.
You knew
rating.
that was gonna happen. I knew that
Yeah.
was gonna
I
happen.
knew that was
Same.
gonna happen, But like some of the shit was just like they were still laughing over one thing that happened. I was just like, motherfucker.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I liked it a lot.
Mhm.
So, I
I give it a solid 7.
I'd say it's on the same as Rogue One for me.
I get a solid 7. I like how like they give even the Millennium Falcon how they got its certain character.
How it looks
Yeah.
like that with the escape pod.
Right. I think
Yeah.
that's also very enjoyable. Actually, my favorite part was God damn it, Gil. I'm kidding. Actually, my favorite part was Lando in that movie. I think Lando was like by far just my favorite part.
Very good.
He's just a charming dude, and
Thank
like
you, Donald Glover.
I really liked Beckett,
yeah,
and I liked the fighting
Mhm.
yeah.
in it.
He should have been one of our top 10 gunslingers. We missed out, guys.
I actually thought about that,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, we haven't seen the money yet, or the movie yet. The money.
The
Where's
movie.
show me the money?
Money.
I guess the spoiler for me is like the one thing I didn't like is like Han Solo is still forever a good guy. That kind of made me
Yeah,
that
irritated.
Yeah.
did piss me off, but at the same time, they kind of write it off with the character who's just like, yeah, I'm not a good guy, but it's like, he very obviously is like, he does good things and stuff.
Right.
He could have just did what Beckett wanted to do, and that could have set him up for
Yeah.
the rest. But
So,
It just that was the one
And I
thing
get
that
what
got me
yeah,
about
and
that is just kind of like, all right, man, like, I guess.
you kind of knew it was coming because it's a Disney movie, though.
Right.
And they can't have that happen, or he's not a good character.
Han Solo can't be skewed. I
But-
just
You can't be an actual person with actual.
No, I thought it
people
was
to
really
vote.
good. I thought the villain was really good in Voss, and that actor who I can forget his fucking name.
Paul Bettany.
There you go.
Vision.
Yeah, Vision. I thought he did really, really good as a crazy, weird bastard.
Yeah. I didn't expect who was at the end.
Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darth Maul.
Mostly because I don't really know much about that storyline.
I mean,
well,
it
he's basically Satan.
Not really. Not
no,
really.
at this point, he'd be the Emperor's bitch.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is he still with the Emperor, or is this just like an off-brand thing?
Well,
In the-
technically speaking, yes, because the Empire and the crime syndicates work together.
Yeah, and so my guess is that, like, in the Clone Wars, fucking Sidious beats the shit out of Darth Maul. He's like, I have plans for you. And so apparently he put him in charge of a crime syndicate.
And
Oh,
this
yeah.
is pre-Rebels, obviously.
Yeah, since he dies in Rebels.
Yeah. And this is pre...
Spoilers!
Yeah. It's pre-rebellion of any sort because they're just starting to do it, I guess.
Not necessarily pre-rebellion. The rebellion's pretty much been a thing since the Empire started, though.
Building under the surface.
It's just
Right.
so like, because obviously they're fighting fucking something when Han is in the military.
I thought they were just trying to take over something.
They are taking over. They were trying to take
Yeah, I
over the
think they were
planet.
trying to take over the planet.
Regardless,
Still, they were rebelling.
and I
against
really
Empire.
like that scene, by the way,
Mhm.
because like that is probably the most down to earth fucking military type shit. Like I'd say even better than Rogue One's. I don't know,
Just that
because
first...
like they drop in like an AT-ST and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it looks cool as fuck.
I mean, you also didn't have a guy walking through the fire going, I'm one with the Force is with me. And just
Yeah.
not getting
And
hit by
that was the other
anything.
thing why I really liked the movie. It's so not Star Wars, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Like
basically
all the
a-
elements are there. It's like they have the Empire and stuff.
It's a legit space western.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
just like they have the Empire's there, and then the
The
weapons are
Classes and...
lasers. But yeah, there's no Force.
Yeah.
None. Not in the movie.
That's
No,
actually
like-
pretty refreshing now that I think
Yeah,
about
they
it.
don't even I don't even think anyone says anything about the Force.
And they don't have any kyber crystal. Their weapons they use aren't powered by kyber crystals or anything.
They
Yeah, no.
do include a
No.
kyber crystal at the end, though.
Yeah, Darth Maul
Right.
flips his fucking lightsaber.
All right, you know
around
what I
for
mean,
some
though.
goddamn reason.
Also, that thing Han was given by the leader of the
Not
the kids that he helped. That wasn't.
That wasn't. That was part. That was a
That
little
was
bit
the
of the
fuel.
gas.
That was
Yeah.
the fuel
Yeah.
crystals.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Kyber crystals are just like they're just regular crystals.
I didn't know that, but I thought that.
Coaxium or whatever it's
No.
called.
Yeah.
But he didn't even have. He wouldn't have even had a ship
Yeah.
to use it on.
Yeah.
How did he
I
get
just
off that island?
probably bartering, I guess. Who the fuck knows?
How did he what?
How did he get off that island?
Beneath Lando.
Oh, off
Yeah.
of the planet?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine that the Marauders probably
Gave him
got
something?
Well, they had to get on there somehow. How the fuck did they get there? On their fucking bikes? I'm gonna say not.
But he left them.
So,
I actually really also
and
enjoyed
then he
it.
walked into the desert and he's like, wait a second.
Walked back.
Hey, can I get a lift?
I also really enjoy the origins of the Kessel Run, I guess. I think that was like, because that's always been like a thing.
Yeah, it's very enigmatic.
Yeah, it's always been the thing that Han Solo would say. I did the Kessel Run in, was it 12 parsecs?
I don't know.
Yeah,
12,
12 parsecs. And then, like, everyone's like, no, you didn't. And then they're like, oh, he did. And you're just like, oh, cool.
I also think the actor did a really good job at portraying Han Solo.
Yeah. He
Like-
wasn't acting like Harrison Ford, he was acting like Han Solo.
Yeah, and I really liked it. And I don't know, people sort of complain about it, but I think he just did a fantastic job. So.
He just was able to keep that cool demeanor that Han
Yeah,
Solo
and I know there
had.
was a lot of like, oh, they're getting him an acting coach. It's gonna be bad. It's like, no, that probably made it fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I was thinking Beckett would survive long enough to teach him how to twirl that gun.
No.
I didn't think so because you never see Han do that. He's not really a gun twirler. He just draws it really fast.
He's a gunslinger,
And
kid.
it
shoots
also,
first.
Yeah, it also shoots first.
Yeah.
I mean, that ending proved it.
Which I do. Yeah, I kind of figured that was gonna be a thing. I kind of like it.
I'm glad.
So,
I really hope the next Han Solo is the Greedo thing.
I think Greedo will be in it.
You mean the
because
Jabba thing?
will
I'm
be in it.
assuming
Greedo hunts people for. Jabba.
Okay, so they've never worked together.
No, no.
They might. You don't know technically.
So that's what I would be hoping for. Like I said, I think it's a fun movie. I'd still give it a 7 just because like it wasn't, to me, some parts were slow.
Then it'll be Lando, a
Star Wars story.
I actually would love to see, like, I could only imagine either Lando doing like an Ocean's 8, Ocean's 11 style kind of like heist.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can also see that. It's like
A
heist
prequel
film.
to Solo.
The funny thought I had is since Han.
It probably would have to be because he's Lando's already really famous. So
Baby.
Prequels to prequels to
The
prequels.
amount of fucking capes that man owns, good Jesus.
I was thinking since they basically won his home from him, he stayed with them for like a good while until he found a place.
that is, I
Like-
do wanna say I don't like the robot.
Just like
L3.
a sitcom with Lando living in the Millennium Falcon.
I'd agree.
Han
and
L3
Wookiee are
caused
doing,
more
uh,
problems to
jobs.
me than anything.
Han, where's the soap? What's up, Han?
No, but
And
yeah,
I love how he does that too. Like,
yeah, how they fucking do it, and then he's like, it's actually Han, but whatever.
he's like, oh, okay. Well, Han.
But no, yeah, 8 out of 10. But there were some slow parts, and I really hated the robot.
Yeah, I really don't
I'd
think
like to
she's-
specify. I don't hate the robot because it's like, I don't know.
Well, you hate the robot because she's a woman. That's
Yeah,
okay.
No,
you like
that's why I need to
sexist
specify.
pig.
No, I hate it because the type of humor it conveys. Like I think it's just dumb.
Well,
If
my
the
thing-
robot just didn't make jokes, I wouldn't give a shit.
My thing about the robot is that, like, I think they were trying to, like, make the robot more human. Like, they made the robot semi-human in Rogue One.
Yeah,
So they were,
but
like, I think they were pushing that notion that, like, robots... But I think they pushed it too hard about the robots having their own sentience, I guess.
well, and it is a thing because R2 has that too.
Right.
But
Because
I
his
just
mind hasn't been wiped for so long. that
yeah,
it's
but just
capable
the
of-
jokes and the whole like freedom
Right.
thing, it's dumb.
Right.
I don't care for it.
And then she becomes the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, whatever.
Hands new ship.
So yeah, that's mine. 8 out of 10.
Hey.
I'll give it an 8 as well.
She's 7.9 out of 10.
I always feel like bad about our scale because I don't think I've ever given anything under a 5, but it takes a lot for me to like.
I've given a few things. Dude, I gave Valerian a fucking 3.
Oh, boy, I didn't get to rate Valyrian.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.
Yeah,
That
no.
had the most dislikes. Like, we had 5 dislikes for Valerian. I'm like, but why? And someone's like, that movie was good. I'm like, but it isn't.
I've never seen anyone defend that movie.
Apparently, people in fucking Spencer really like Valerian because everyone was like, man, that movie was so cool. I was like, did you see it in 3D? Yeah. I was like, that's why.
No, because that's why I wanted to see it, because it was like, it was just universally hated and bad, and I was like, it can't be that bad.
But like, no, I think everyone.
And then I was like, oh boy, the CGI in this movie is
CGI is bad.
And
the
that's
fucking
when
date.
I say that.
Yeah,
that
the
means
CGI is bad. The date rapey relationship between fucking Valerian and the other girl, because like in the beginning, she does not want nothing of him.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, she's like trying. He's like trying to kiss her, and she's like, no. She flips him. He flips her around. He's like, come on, baby. I'm like, oh, I know. And then the Valerian comic books. I've never read them, but I decided to read an issue. I'm like, this is so different. That girl is from the past. He's actually like an 80s superhero style like body build, not new Harry Osborn from the Amazing fucking Spider-Man. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, no. So like, yeah, no, I've never really given anything I think lower than a 5.
I don't think I've given anything lower than a 7.
Because even like Justice League, which a lot of people hate, I still thought it was okay.
I gave that a 6, I think.
Okay, also give it a 6.
Pretty
Still
sure I
better
gave
than
it a
Wonder
7.
I'm gonna argue that it's not.
Maybe a 7
I
or
also
6.
feel like it's not, but I haven't seen Wonder Woman to argue that.
Just
I'm
wait
gonna
until
argue that
next
Wonder
weekend, I'll
Woman's
give it to you.
good by like a hair.
No.
Where like Wonder Woman has a
6.1.
consistent, because like Wonder Woman has a consistent story, even though it's not a good story, it still follows through its story. Where Justice League, because of the 2 directors, you could legitimately tell that the story diverges really, really bad, and you cannot like understand why one part is going and why another is. That's just
I personally just don't
right.
like Wonder Woman. That's my thing.
Because you hate women, Gil.
I mean, if you want to spin it that way, by
No,
all means,
I really
it's just
don't. I
not
really
a
don't
really
wanna spin it
bad
that way.
movie in my opinion. Well, it's not a bad.
Are you part of the
movie.
seduction community where you don't understand how women work?
To me, Justice League
Nope.
just seems like it came too soon, rather
Yeah.
than building up
Yeah,
every
man.
individual
Part of
character.
my thing is I might just start going off 100 scale, where I give things like point something. It's like, this was a 7.6. Fuck you. Because I feel like I've given a lot of movies the same rating, but they're not quite equal.
From 7 to 10, that's our new rating scale.
We are
Oh,
IGN.
7. Oh shit, IGN.
Too much water. I'm kidding. Not enough water. No, like, someone asked, like, is there any good books or comic books or anything we've been reading, and if so, what?
Oh, good Christ, I'm backlogged on my fucking books.
So, My Hero Academia is relatively good, but that's just something in general. It's something really popular recently, for good reason.
Yeah, weebs. I'm kidding. No.
So,
like,
you can go.
says the guy, I call you a weeb, says the guy who made a fucking should you give it a shot My Hero Academia video.
Weed.
Weeb. No, I've actually been fun fact, I've actually been catching up on all the DC Rebirth shit because Dark Knight Metal just got done, and I have Comixology, so I can just read it on my laptop, and I was reading it, and so I caught up on all of Dark Knight Metal, and then I caught up on apparently DC's New Age of Heroes. They introduced 4 new comic books. They're all rip-offs of Marvel characters that aren't being used by Marvel because they're owned by different companies. Sideways is basically teleporting Spider-Man. The Terrifics are the Fantastic Four. Damage is the Hulk. So yeah, I've been reading those, and I think I like the Terrifics more than I like all of them because it hails back to the classic Fantastic Four, and I find it super enjoyable.
So it's like Diesel to JoJo.
No, because Diesel to JoJo is like Diesel's just trash, but these are just like actually good.
I meant more in like the rip-off sense.
It takes to be fair, there have been Marvel and DC have been ripping each other off since the fucking 60s.
Before that.
Yeah, Thanos, Darkseid, fucking just all of them.
Yeah.
Even their television shows, like Luke Cage got super popular, and like right after Luke Cage got done and people were raving about it,
Yeah.
the CW is like, Black Lightning, check. So there was that. No, like, and then I think another, like, I read Batman Metal, and I fucking love it. It's basically all the negative universes, Batman's teaming up to destroy the Prime universe. It's fucking dumb.
Sounds like Transformers.
It's so weirdly good, though. Like, the Batman who laughs is Bruce Wayne after killing the Joker, and he's like, oh, well, there's no Joker, and I need the Joker. So he basically becomes the Joker and just wears BDSM stuff while having Robin's chained to him. Then there's Batman that's got infected with a doomsday virus, and then there's Batman who fuses with Barry Allen to be part of this. Like, it's fucking
That seems dumb as shit, but yeah.
And then the Teen Titans run for the DC Rebirth was actually really, really good. Damian Wayne, instead of like asking them to help, he kidnaps all of the Teen Titans.
In classic Damian Wayne.
Yeah, he kidnaps Raven, Starfire, who is not a teenager because she is intimately involved with Dick Grayson, but she's still part of the Teen Titans.
As a mentor sort of figure.
Wally West and Beast Boy. Beast Boy is just this awkward, famous, I don't know why he's famous, but he's like live streaming in one thing, and he's like about to score with a girl, and he's like, you know, it'd be funny if I turned into a shark. Because they were in the pool, and she's like, you're fucking weird. He's like, oh man. Like, so theirs is dumb though. How they team up is dumb. Because like Damian Wayne was supposed to run the basically League of Assassins like Teen Titans, called like the Brotherhood of the Fist or something like that. That's it. And now it's run by his like cousin who he scarred up, and each of the Brotherhood chose the Teen Titans that Damian kidnapped because like they mirror their powers in some way. It's just all sorts of convoluted but fun.
Yay.
So yeah. And Super Sons, everyone should read that. It's basically Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent's children teaming up. It's fun. It's a good time.
Also remind me not to take any Tic Tacs.
Why? Oh, because Eli's foot's on it?
Yeah.
It's not like they're actually touching
Have
the
you
Tic
read any
Tacs.
good books?
Like, of anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
I finished Killing Lincoln.
Was there any sex spending at the end of that
No,
book?
there was not, Kian. For fuck's sake.
What the hell's wrong with you?
But no, it was a
How many
very
vampires
informal.
were in
It was a very what?
Yeah, were
what?
there vampires?
How many vampires were in there?
I forgot that was
That's the
even.
Lincoln I remember.
That was. I forgot
That's
that
the
movie
Lincoln
existed.
I always
That's
remember.
the Lincoln I voted
Fun-
The best part of it is
funny-
that it came out with an actual autobiography.
Funny story. My dad gets so mad whenever he sees Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter on, because he's like, Abraham Lincoln was never a vampire hunter, and I hate how they're portraying him like that. I'm like, Dad, calm down. It's just for entertainment
It's a
purposes.
fictional
I
book.
came to free the slaves. I stayed to kill the vampires.
But no, it was very. it
Yes,
was
because
very,
that's what Lincoln was shooting for, was freeing the slaves, not that...
From the vampires.
Yeah, that's
Human
definitely...
cows and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
The
yeah, no.
Emancipation Proclamation freed all the slaves.
On accident, yeah.
Everyone.
Mostly just fucked over the vampires.
That's why he did it. Yep.
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 But yeah, no, it was a very informative book about the details leading up to his eventual assassination. So
I have a
it was
copy.
really good.
How good was it? Just rate it
Uh,
on a scale of 7 to 10.
I'd actually give it like a 9.
Yeah.
On a scale of 7
Oh,
to 10.
7 to 10.
Piss poor. I'd never read that.
Oh, well, I give Batman Metal a solid, like, 7 just in general. Like, not in our scale that we just made up, but, like, in a comic book scale. Because it's just so fucking bonkers that, like, I love it. I think it's amazingly fun. And I give Titans an 8 out of 10. Because I also, again, really enjoy the bringing back classic Teen Titans and combining them with the newer modern day Damian Wayne. Not Wayans. How to say Damian Wayans? The Wayans brothers are in it. I'm kidding. I also really hate, though, like, Cyborg is a member of the Justice League, but all he is like a glorified security guard. He's just sitting at the watchtower most of the time, like, alright, no one's in the watchtower yet. Okay. Yep, I guess I'll go. And then DC created Red Lion, which is it's who is Black Panther, who's their Black Panther, but he's an African warlord instead of a king.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never floats the boat.
Yeah. He teams up with Deathstroke.
Because why not?
Deathstroke is kind of a douche in the Teen Titans run.
Do you have any books, Gil?
I've had a copy of Dante's Inferno that I've been meaning to get into.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The epic poem based off
Holy balls.
that created the game that really isn't based off of the epic poem.
Fucking game.
Yes.
Well, he's in hell, and his name's Dante.
Close enough.
We're like legit. The poem's supposed to be a satire on how Christianity's view heaven, hell, and purgatory, but they turned it into like a gothic "I'm mad at edgelord Dante" from Dante's Inferno.
Fuck, that's a good one.
He
Wait,
fucking
you wanna write that
stitches
down?
the blood.
Yep, he fucking hurts
The
himself.
crumbs.
He's angry all
He
the time.
fights the devil with
Fits
his
the
dick.
bill.
The devil has a huge dick. He doesn't actually fight the devil with his own penis.
I still want to do top 10 Pokemon ripoffs, but make it super sarcastic.
Dante's
Well-
Inferno.
What?
Number 1. You battle monsters.
Well, you basically become one. Dante's Inferno. So, speaking of...
I don't get to talk about my books.
Oh, no.
Tell us.
Fuck you.
What books have you read, Eli?
I've read a
Besides
lot of
accounting
books.
for college.
Didn't read that book.
Oh,
That's
you
why
didn't
I failed. No, I'm joking.
I mean, that's very fair to understand.
I mean, he's not wrong about failing.
Fail upwards, as I always say.
Go on.
I'm joking.
What have you been reading?
Oh, God. Well, that's a tricky thing, because I've been trying to read into the Guts manga that Gil bought me for Christmas. So that's been like a half a year project. I am not very far.
That's fine. Just take your time.
It's
Enjoy
like
it- enjoy
one
the ride.
page a week.
How?
It's a little more
I
than
was
that.
gonna say, the manga pages aren't even a full fucking comic book panel.
Every time I go back to it, though, I'm like, oh yeah, it's backwards. It really fucks with my brain. Because I'm like, when I first started, I was reading it, and then I'd like go down, it just wouldn't make any sense, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to go the other way. Fuck.
Do you like the artwork in it, though?
I do like the artwork a lot, actually. But other than that, I read a lot of Norse mythology books, and also just anything Norse. 'cause I like that shit.
Have you read the new Neil Gaiman Norse mythology?
That's what I'm reading.
How is that?
I'm not into it very far. My mom says it's a quick read and that I should be able to finish it in like 2 hours, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
Did your mom read it?
Yeah, she's the one who recommended it to me.
Okay, so she
she's
really
fucking
enjoyed it.
librarian. So.
Well, I didn't know if she really enjoyed it or not. I was just very
Yeah,
curious.
she really enjoyed it because she recommended it to everyone in my family. That's why I need to get done with it.
Have you read American Gods by Neil Gaiman?
No, but that's also, she wants me to read that.
It's a good one. That I think that one. It's obviously probably not the same kind of series. Whereas American Gods is basically like bringing in the New Age gods, which is technology, fucking media, and all that stuff against like old gods. But like, I think Neil Gaiman has this idea, like, is really good at combining whimsy and shit like that.
I'd agree with that.
He's able to turn any modern story into a fairy tale.
But other than that, I've been rereading Children of Odin, which is an old book that I read when I was like 9, which sounds fucked up, because it kind of is, but that's a long read. If anyone wants that, I have like 3 copies you can borrow them.
Why do you have 3 copies?
Why not?
Some of them look super cool, and I also just kind of came into them.
Oh, because like my dad has 3 copies of The Hobbit, and I never understood why.
Also got all the Lord of the Rings books, but I have not read through them.
My dad has like the hardcover Hobbit book. He's got like the one that looks like a leather bound there and back again. I'm like, why do you buy this
I
stuff?
mean,
He's like,
that'd be cool.
yeah, I know, but he's got like all of them. Like when the new Hobbit movie came out, he bought the one with the fucking Hobbit poster for the book cover. He's like, it looked really cool, and it's the Hobbit. I'm like, but you have 4 fucking copies. Like, what do you need them for?
But yeah,
To
and then I'm
teach
reading
my
through.
children proper literature.
And then I'm reading through Marvel's Contest of Champions, and by reading through, I mean I haven't started it yet. And I need to.
Marvel.
I'm multitasking. Like
See,
fucking 5 things.
you've been reading Marvel. I've been reading DC.
I haven't read into it all. But yeah.
Zach needs
Sure.
to start reading Image. I need to start reading Black Horse.
Image.
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
Image.
Comics.
Oh.
Right. Oh, and someone
only
asked
know,
like
like, Dark
if there has been any new shows or movies on like a streaming service that you've watched that you've enjoyed, and if so, what? Does anyone have anything?
Not
I don't
new.
have any streaming services, so.
Well, I mean, you could do cable if you wanted. I
Oh
guess.
no,
Shows.
not even that.
I mean, not new shows. I'm watching Dragon Ball Z, which is
Yeah, but everyone
a
recognizes
tad
Dragon
bit
Ball Z.
30 years old, just a little bit.
Aged like a fine wine.
Oh, but it didn't. I'll tell you what.
I like it.
I like it, but like the animation just no.
I mean, watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, it's like that got picked up for another season, but yeah.
Have you been watching?
Mainly YouTube videos. That's about it.
That's it.
What's like a YouTube video you enjoy? What like just series have you just been on a grind lately? Because like I've been on an H Bomber guy grind, just rewatching some of his videos just because I find them interesting.
Most amazing top tens.
Like steals those ideas. Puts it in our top 10.
No. It's just the creepy shit that I've been watching because I don't generally.
The ones that make Zach not want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Fuck
They do the same
that.
for me, but
What?
I still pop manage to
That
fall
creepy
asleep.
shit that
It
we
mainly
watch
gets
sometimes.
to a point where I exhaust myself on that stuff and just pass out.
So you make yourself so terrified of falling asleep
That I stay up
that
so
you
late
stay
that,
up, that you
I
do fall asleep.
Yeah, that's,
That's
how I spend my
really
weekends.
Well, no, I just plowed through Troll Hunter.
How is that, by the way?
It's really,
I
really good.
kind of wanted to watch it since it's made by Guillermo del Toro.
Okay, so the fun fact about we talked about animation earlier this week when I apologized about the CalArts Thundercats. This is I feel more not towards children but for young adults, even though it has that TVY7 rating.
It generally is probably marketed that way so it can reach a wider
Right,
audience,
that's what I
but it's-
mean. Where like with this, they don't have to rely on marketing of toys. They just rely more on marketing of
The
how
show.
many people stream it. It's really, really good. It ends in a really, really good ending because it's only going to be 3 parts, and the 3rd part just came out. So it's super good, and like the lore within it is good, but I don't think Eli will like it because I don't know if Eli likes Arthurian lore or not. But they kind of
love Arthurian.
yeah, they
lore,
kind of mess up
but-
Arthurian lore.
Now, to be fair, everything that does Arthurian lore
messes it up in some way.
fucks it up completely.
Because I mean, there's a lot. Of,
Arthurian lore fucks itself up completely sometimes.
there's a lot of incest.
There's like some context and like some lore, like throughout the ages. I've read the same story, but it's been edited very differently with each.
You're not wrong, and at the same time, unless you go back to the base books, it'll always get fucked up. But I mean, just like they really just rip into it.
Like when they turn Arthur into a woman.
I don't even care about that so much, but yeah, that does kind of fuck the lore. But I mean, like the sort of shit where you make it all about the sword.
It's not all about the sword.
And the
Yeah,
sword
like
was
the
worthless. It was always the scabbard.
Yeah, because it heals you.
Yeah, and then also the sword and the stone and Excalibur are not the same thing, but that one's one that commonly gets.
See, I never really knew. Like, I knew that. That's
They're
why I was
different.
always confused with the Lady of the Lake handing Arthur the sword. But I'm like, but isn't the sword in the stone?
No, it was I think the sword and the stone made him the king, but he got Excalibur after.
Yeah.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
These bitches ruining Arthurian lore out here.
It doesn't matter. Go on though.
I also watch the Mob Psycho Netflix series, that live action one.
Really?
Oh God, fucking damn it!
Is that bad?
It's bad.
You see Full Metal Alchemist?
It's worse.
Oh God.
Like it's bad.
I'll still probably watch it.
Oh, so it's an anime turned into a movie?
It's an anime turned into a live action series.
Oh.
They did it with Death Note and it turned out relatively well the
series?
first time.
The movie?
No, the
No,
series.
The series.
The
They have a live action TV
the Korean
series.
drama.
Yeah.
It was in Korea.
I
They
thought it
had,
was a
they had a
Korean
couple
drama.
Japanese versions of it.
Because they made a live action movie that was
They had a
successful.
live action movie series.
Yeah,
But they also
that
had
was
a live
successful
action series.
until the second part, which kind of like ate shit.
Yeah, Death Note's weird.
Death Note is very weird, but no, it's bad. And there's also apparently a Kakiagori, the Netflix gambling anime that just came out, had a live series came out around the same time, which makes no fucking sense to me. That like, why would you produce an anime series
Just to turn around and
make a live action series like 6 months later?
Doing it at the same time, so no
Because that way you confuse the demographic.
Yeah.
And you also get in that extra zing. You get more. You
You get people who only like the live action and think the anime is shitty, and then also people who only like the anime and think the live action is shitty. And they
Whereas
fight
like
each other.
Mob Psycho 100 is the thing that I like from the creator of One Punch Man. I dislike One Punch Man a lot.
Is it because they give him more of a reason to be OP?
Yeah, they actually flesh him out.
And it's tied to his emotions.
Yeah, but my thing about where One Punch Man is, well, if you look at the side characters, that's what the story's about.
No.
That's
Just
stupid.
It fleshes out the main character.
It fleshes out the main characters, but it also fleshes out the side characters around him at the same time. It fleshes out his enemies of the other Espers too, where you can understand where they're coming from. But this fucking show, in Mob Psycho, Espers are like, well, no one gives a shit about Espers. Who cares? It's just a small part of people's lives. This was like, Espers are the evil. They're fucking gang lords on the high school grounds and stuff, and they use karate and Esper powers to fight. And so, yeah.
Karate.
Yeah. So,
Cobra Kai.
that's definitely my problem with it.
Truly, the root of all evil, karate and martial arts.
Yeah, kind
I'm
of.
kidding.
No, I'm just like, it's just that I still highly recommend if you have YouTube Red to get Cobra Kai. If not anything, you can plow through Cobra Kai with the YouTube Red free 1 month membership, and then just
You can plow through a lot of things with that.
yeah, yeah, but most yeah, like I said, I've just been rewatching a bunch of Bomber Guy stuff. I've been listening to a lot of Comics Story and Comics Explained.
Yeah.
Comics Explained.
Comic Story.
He's okay. I like Comics Explained.
I
a lot
like his
better.
voice.
See, I don't like when he's okay. I like Comics Explained better because like I want to know like the base of what the comic is about.
Not the actual panel.
Not the actual panel work. Where like that's the reason why I used how I found out about Batman, the Batman anti-fund, the Batman destruction fund, is like I was going through the parts of that, and he didn't have the final issue, but Comic Storian had the final issue. Whereas then I was listening to Comic Story, and I'm like, God, I just want to know like what is happening in the comics, not like let's make the voice for the Joker sound much higher than the sound for Batman. I'm like, okay.
It makes it interesting.
I'm glad like people think it's interesting, but like if it says DC Universe comic book explained, I just want an explanation. I don't want a audio drama retelling of that issue.
Fair enough.
And so let's go into our fight.
What's to say?
A rat. Sorry, not a rat. A hamster versus a mouse.
Sorry.
Electric
No.
mouse.
I still feel like
We're
it's
answering
way
questions.
one-sided.
I don't believe it's way one-sided, but I just feel like Pikachu. No, because Patamon's just super durable.
So is Pikachu though when you think about it.
Right.
I
But,
mean,
like-
I feel like everything in Digimon and Pokemon are super durable.
Right.
Because they don't just fucking die when they
Right.
get hit by the
That's where I
shit.
stand though. Like, I feel like the only reason Pikachu, because I feel like their durability is super matched from the feats they've done. Like, the amount
but
of
this is a regular Pikachu and Patamon. Though.
right, but regular Patamon still hypothetically in transit, because like Digimon don't train to get stronger though. They're just kind of that base.
Okay, are we going off of games or the shows?
I went off
Both.
games.
Then yes, Digimon do train to get stronger.
Do they really?
Yeah, there
Oh,
are many
yeah.
RPG games where you literally level
Yeah,
them
that's
up
that's,
yeah,
a,
that's
that's
right.
to get
World 2.
stronger.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
that's
World
right.
2.
Not bad.
I thought we were just going off both.
Right.
And with Digimon, unless you evolve them, they legitimately have a level cap.
But it's hard to go off the shows because then it wouldn't be just a random Patamon or a random Pikachu.
And like Ash's Pikachu is just god. Well, my thing about Ash's Pikachu is that he loses to certain things, but wins against like
wins
certain
against
things.
far stronger
Right.
enemies.
Like he loses like against a Turtwig, and you're like,
It's where the plot needs it to
And,
be.
and
let's be honest
every
here.
fucking
Yeah.
time, every like new season, he's just instantly somehow weak. In reality, you'd think he'd just be strong as fuck.
Just
It's
ra-
like
just
Jack
raging
Like
on-
Pikachu.
yeah.
flick everything away.
Yeah.
Pika Pika.
right. Whereas like, but I
Fuck
think
you.
I honestly
Played by
do
Dwayne
think
Johnson.
they're both honestly do think they're both
Big as
equivalently
Ash.
durable to
Jack.
what they've both taken on. So like the reason why I think Pikachu wins,
See, that's why I asked. Why are we doing this based off of games or
I
not?
feel like it's a combination of both.
Mostly games, but some from the.
Because a Patamon will lose to anything mega level in almost like
Right.
one or two hits
Right.
in a game.
Mega level.
But like yeah, mega level. But Pikachu, depending on its level, can tank a lot of things,
Oh, I
even
see what you're
legendaries,
saying.
Right.
which is even God.
Yeah.
No, but like, I don't know. Even if you have Arceus, I feel like he'll bitch slap a regular Pikachu. That's
Like
just
a
level
regular
one.
Pikachu though, wouldn't that be like a level 5 Pikachu in like
Yeah.
That's why. But generally, when we have these, you say we're doing the cumulative,
yeah.
so that'd be like a level 100 Pikachu. So no,
Right.
it would bitch slap an Arceus.
Well, right, that's understandable, but like general out in the wild Pikachu level 100?
They can go as high as level 50 normally.
Can they really? Fascinating.
In the wild, though.
Depends which games you're playing and where you find them at.
Okay,
Some,
yeah, just
some games offer them in like the end game, and that's where you're fighting level 50 to 70 stuff.
Weird, but alright.
In other words, this little mouse is gonna take you out, bitch.
I still think like I said, like I do still think they're both pretty durable. And one thing is like Pikachu has a better arsenal. Patamon really just has Boom Bubble, like a scratch tackle attack, and like a gust kind of attack, I think it was.
Yeah.
But he does have the power of flight. I feel like he's not nearly as fast as Pikachu, though.
Another
He
thing
does shit
is-
like quick attack, where somehow he moves faster than the human eye can perceive.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Might just be the anime art style. I don't know.
What's the new thing besides Volt Tackle now?
They have Electro Ball. There's in the games. There's Volt Switch. They have Electro Web, which is the newest thing he's learned as of the Alola arc.
Electro what?
Electro Web.
Oh man, he's just a spider.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
That also then
Spider-Chew.
Pikachu. I think Pikachu's Z move is an instant death blow, anyways.
Again, that stuff type depends on the level. Because if it's a level 5 Pikachu, it's not going to take
Also,
anything out.
I mean, compare. Okay, like
It'll
as,
do a lot of
as
things.
as
to
used as a
decent amount.
death blow, Patamon, that is a death blow.
I forgot to
Yes,
throw
very
it
much
out
so.
there. I'm not accepting any argument that is like, because Patamon flies, he is a flying type, and Pikachu beats flying. That's retarded.
I'll give you that. yeah.
Because they're two different
Because
franchises.
Yeah.
actually, Patamon's a vaccine type.
Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
you know. They actually-
Patamon's not even a real fucking
Depending
creature.
on the game, they even split that up. There's vaccines, antiviruses, viruses, and then they split that up even further into beasts, fish,
Yep.
Yeah.
holy,
As a kid,
shark.
that always
dark.
confused me.
And then
as
like
I didn't.
Humanoid. They have a humanoid one, don't they?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really.
Oh, Digimon are so good. But yeah, no, I never realized that like you were supposed to be in a computer program, so parts of Digimon just confused me like that. I didn't understand that shit.
Oh, that's another what the fact I want to work on. What the Royal Knights are based off of.
Well, they're based off of the Arthurian legends.
No, what the specific Royal Knights
Yeah.
they're like just named after.
Yeah.
Jesus, Mom.
Jesmon, Omnimon, Alphamon.
Yeah.
Going back to this, another thing you have to kind of take into consideration is in Pokemon they go until things are fainted, and in Digimon they go until you basically kill something.
I mean, they do faint a lot though.
Yeah. And basically once they run out of energy, they're useless.
When you look at it, like, okay, look at it. I look at it like
same thing could be said in Pokemon as well in the games.
Yeah.
They do run out of.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Is it SP?
PP.
PP.
There you go.
Power points.
Power points.
It's
Power.
dumb, but
And in Digimon it's MP, which is magic points. For whatever reason.
I don't know.
Because they're electronic, but they still do magic.
Magic. Some of them are just.
Yeah, why would it be
magic.
like DP? Okay, maybe not DP. Just forget what I just said.
Oh shit.
Never mind. Forget I said that.
TP. Technological power.
I keep just. Never mind.
But yeah, I don't know.
I still think like durability wise, because of like when you use like the shows and stuff like that.
Well, these are all supposed to be wild, right?
Right.
There's no trainers involved.
No, but they don't train. Like TK never technically trains Patamon. There's
But
no
I'm-
training. Like
Yeah, but
they're just hanging. Basically, Digimon don't train because they have the only thing that the partner does is just like Digimon because I'm leaving you. Just because he's there doesn't give him a boost in like strength. Like it maybe give him a boost in morale. I guess
they do train though in the games.
in the game, yeah.
I literally remember in World 3, you have to take your fucking Digimon to the gym and have them jump ropes and shit.
That's fucking right. I forgot, dude. I love
So
World
that's
3.
like, they do like actual fucking training.
World
Whereas
3
in,
is the shit.
in fucking Pokemon, it's like, I'm gonna stuff this fucking candy down your throat until you get better. And instead of getting fat, they get stronger. Rare candy, my ass is everywhere. God.
You have the Game Shark. It is.
Basically.
Ugh.
No, like I still think that Pikachu wins, but just because he has a much better arsenal of.
He has a lot of moves, and
To
he also
kill
bodies
Patamon.
that thing.
Yeah. So
20
Well, I mean,
grams.
he's been in the not like since we're going off a wild Pikachu. That's the thing is that I don't know how many moves a lot of the wild Pikachu could learn, rather than like being taught them by a trainer.
See, but every time Ashton was never like, "Let me give you a TM." Pikachu just was able to use it because of
But
Nagamon.
that's his Pikachu,
Yeah.
not a wild one.
This Pikachu would basically have Thundershock. If we go that, he'd still have an arsenal that'd be able to beat him because he'd have Thundershock, Thunderbolt,
Yeah.
Quick Attack, Thunder Wave.
Yeah,
they do have
Thunder Wave.
Do they get that in the wild?
They do.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's one of their
And that
first attacks.
paralyzes.
Yeah, it's that first attack. That's a
Paralysis is still a thing in Digimon.
Yeah.
Fucked up. I know.
Paralysis is a legitimate thing. So that's what I mean, though. I just still think that, like, if Patamon had more attacks besides just scratch, tackle, and
Well, I mean, the thing is that like
boom bubble,
Pikachu's been in Pokemon for so fucking long, like 20 years.
yeah,
He's been in that shit. Whereas Patamon, they move on. Like
right.
with Digimon, they're like, all right, now for the new generation, all the old ones are irrelevant. We're moving on to mechanized Digimon. It's like,
And now Digimon can just fuse together, and there are no
Yeah,
evolutions.
Yeah, and then they bring back the old ones. They're like, but we're gonna fuse them together into new things.
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna take these two original ones and make Omnimon.
They still try to keep the older ones up to date because they have a consecutive lore in Digimon somehow. And
They have a semi-Norse lore because it uses Yggdrasil.
No, don't you
water.
fucking throw that my way, because then people are gonna be
No,
like,
they
Final
basi-
Fantasy has a Norse lore. And it's
They-
like, no, it fucking doesn't.
It has the world tree. That's
It
about
has
it.
the
I was gonna
world
be like,
tree, yeah.
I was like, you
Yeah,
can
there's no,
use
like-
elements from it.
Yeah,
that does
there's
not
no-
make it that way.
No,
Then it basically carries over elements from all types
Yeah.
of religions.
yeah. Because like Jesus Mon,
We
they
had
have, like
Christianity.
7. A lot of it is actually Christian based though. When
Yeah,
you
I
think
know,
about
it's
it, it's weird.
The
That,
fight
like,
against
Arthurian
Jesus
mythology.
Arthurian mythology, but like a lot.
Norse mythology.
It is really weird though that like the
Greek.
first 2 seasons of Digimon literally were basically based off of like Christian lore, though.
Azulongmon.
That's Chinese lore, but like that's the Chinese 4-wind lore. But like
Yeah, but the first season is literally like ends up with Angemon versus Devilmon.
yeah,
And
and
they fight Apocalypmon at the end.
yeah, and
Oh,
Malomyotis
is that-
Mon,
Okay, whatever.
which is actually I think Apocalymon's like Japanese name was Raptormon if I remember correctly. It's something similar to that. So like it really is weird that like Digimon is there's just a lot of like Christian undertone. Oh my gosh, I have to what the fact. I'm gonna
Going back a little
There's
ways,
so
there was
many
a
what
fight
the
against
facts.
Jesus Mon, just like Jesus Mon attempts to save your soul.
No,
Like,
Jesus-mon is made of swords.
use
Jesus-mon-
Giga Blaster.
Jesus-mon will stab you.
Jesus.
Show him.
Yeah, so Jesus Mon has like he also has 3 ghosts hanging around with him, which is the
That's a different form. I don't know why, but that's a different
God.
form.
Are you sure it's not just not Jesus? It's just just pronounced similar.
no, he's based off of Jesus.
I mean, to be fair, he is like Mon is monsters.
Jesus Mon is
Whoa.
he's based off of his name is based off of
Judge,
Jesus.
jury, and executioner. is what
Yeah,
it is.
and that is
Did not make the picture any bigger.
no, it did not.
It just made it worse.
Shitty.
Clicked
That
on it.
didn't help either.
That didn't. Well, that's Jetmon.
I mean, just go to Google Images.
Yeah,
No,
he's
there's
got-
kind of a video down there.
He's got 3 Holy Spirits with him and shit.
No, naturally.
He's not meant to be fucked with.
Well, all right.
Wouldn't be surprised if people fucked with him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So the voting was really, really close though, 56 to 44.
I'm guessing
Pikachu won just by. Patamon was in the lead in the beginning of the week, and I was like, oh, this is weird. And then
Man.
Pikachu stuck it with one last vote, and I was like, huh, this is weird.
I knew I should have voted. I would have voted for
I
Pikachu.
still don't like the weight on Patamon. It seems
20 grams at the minimum.
Versus 13
That's
pounds.
what we found anyway. I don't know if I believe that. Yeah, Pikachu's 13 pounds, which makes sense because he's kind of big for like
A
he's
mouse.
obviously not a regular mouse. Because like
He's about the size of a cat.
yeah, I'd say he's cat-sized, except he's way fatter. Like cats kind of have long legs. Pikachu has like
Stumpy.
non-existent legs. I don't know how he moves that fast.
Just like springboarding himself.
All right, so what? Who should we put up next? Because actually,
Eli.
Did
Would
we
you like
vote?
to take out your list?
I-
Number one.
said
I thought we were all unanimously
that
Pikachu.
I still just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're all Pikachu.
I didn't say Pikachu, just yeah.
So-
But I just wanted to.
Didn't even research
I
it.
just wanted to cover that, like, the only thing that makes sense about Patamon's weight is that he does, in fact, fly with his fucking ears, so I guess it makes sense that he doesn't weigh that much.
Right.
Alright.
Eli's got a list.
Hale, yeah, no, but Hale, wanted to ask me if Solomon Grundy versus Hulk was a good one, and I denied him because Solomon Grundy is weird because it depends on who's writing him, how strong Solomon Grundy is.
I mean, that's also the Hulk.
No,
Depends on which Hulk it is.
technically speaking, though.
Is it Savage Hulk?
But like that's the culmination. Like remember when we do this, it's like a culmination of all those Hulks. Well, like Solomon
no,
Grundy,
fucking work.
no, but Solomon's Grundy's weaknesses are always different. On like, if you're writing him for Superman, he's able to go toe to toe with Superman, and then there's an issue, and there's sometimes when he's fighting Batman, he's able to just Batman's keeping up with him. So there's a lot of there's more inconsistency with Solomon Grundy than there is with Hulk. That's why I
Alright, but one
want to
thing.
do that.
I don't think it'd be a culmination of all the Hulks, just all of that specific Hulk incarnations. Because you have Red
Right.
Hulk.
No, you know what I
She-Hulk.
mean.
No,
So,
Red Hulk and She-Hulk are different characters.
right. The culmination of just it's Bruce Banner. Like
I was talking about like there's different versions of the Bruce Banner Hulk within
Hulk.
the same universe. Yeah, like there's a smart one. I fucking forget
Blue
his.
Hulk?
the professor.
I know there's blue,
That's
gray.
And then
A-Bomb.
there's
A-Bomb's a
where he's a
different character,
fucking
but there's a gray
gangster.
one. That's Joe Fixit.
Joe Fixit, there it is.
Yeah.
And then there's Savage Hulk, World Buster Hulk, shit like that. It's just so it's like
Planet Hulk.
so it's basically it's more just like a balance of how in control Bruce Banner is versus the Hulk. Where like if it's more Bruce Banner, he's smarter, not as strong. And if it's more the Hulk, he's more just fucking rage, stupid, strong, pushing planets around and shit. But he's just dumb. So anyway, go on with your ideas.
I just still really kind of want to do Thanos versus Kratos just because I just
piss
find
off
that
the
to be
community.
Super interesting
No.
because the
just to
community
piss off the
is
community.
basically just big hard dicks on Kratos winning, which I don't think he would at all. But that's again
Okay,
personally my
specify
just me.
with or without Infinity.
Even without the gauntlet, I think Kratos does not stand a chance against Thanos. Like, even if Thanos is like, all right, I'll take this Infinity Gauntlet out and just fight Kratos, Kratos would get his ass kicked.
Kratos has fought gods. He's fought titans.
So is
Thanos.
Thanos technically, but I do think Kratos would win.
I think
This calls for research.
Like I'm saying that
Granted, you would have
He's-
to either.
Kratos for a human is still relatively strong.
right, but like
So
the,
he would be a potential threat.
Relatively, he's
He is
fucking insanely strong.
yeah,
But
but like
I want to
I hate
specify.
when people put sorry before we go. I hate when people put like
Shit.
he's the killer of gods, where it's like just because you're a killer of God in your universe, that transitive property does not go to gods in like another form of media. Like just because Raiden and Thor are both gods of thunder, do not equivocate that they are on the same level of strength.
Wouldn't that go the same way for Thanos and Kratos though? Like if
Yeah,
Thanos
and that's
crossed
the
over
thing I
into
was going to say. I
Kratos's-
feel like the gods in God of War are stronger than the gods in Marvel.
I don't though.
I
For
do.
the gods that he's like, because Kratos beat Galactus, and I don't think Galactus
Yes, Kratos
could
did
beat,
do that.
Not Kratos. Fucking Thanos beat Galactus, and I don't think Kratos.
A lot of people beat Galactus though, and that's the thing is that a lot of non-god killing people beat Thanos.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. I still think. I mean, we can do it, but I legitimately do believe Thanos would beat Kratos.
I don't. And that's the problem. I feel like we have such biases already that it wouldn't matter.
Right.
That's why I
So
don't want to.
SWAT cats versus biker mice from Mars.
No.
That is something I
I'm
have.
just gonna shoot that down right now.
Well, do you have a better matchup for biker mice from Mars?
Biker mice from Mars?
Versus pizza cats.
I didn't realize that they were human-sized.
Versus
So
the
I
pub-
wanted Rescue Rangers, I think is what they're
versus
called.
the Republic Commandos.
Yeah.
Chip and Dale?
I don't know who that is, but
Rescue Rangers.
They're the biker mice from Mars are the size of fucking humans.
I know, that's why I'm questioning why he wants to put them against Chip
I
and
didn't
Dale.
know. No, I didn't know they were the fucking size of humans.
I was very confused.
I thought they were just regular mice, but on bikes.
Tattooed teenagers from Beverly Hills.
What?
Tattooed teenagers from Beverly Hills.
What about the samurai pizza cats versus the biker mice from Mars?
Fucking so many cats with you. Jesus Christ. I feel like they're gonna win just because they're cats.
That might be the reason.
Dude, Jerry always beats Tom.
Oh boy.
I mean, Jerry also drove Tom to suicide.
My God, what about Sylvester the cat versus Tom from Tom and Jerry?
Huh.
On who would catch their respective.
Not that, because then Sylvester will win because he's actually done it.
Right.
I mean, so has Tom.
It would be in a fight. Yeah, but he always fucking loses every time.
Fine. Okay, Sylvester versus Tom. Like who'd win in a
Fine,
fight?
fine with that.
That seems like a
Cat
reasonable.
fight.
That seems like a reasonable matchup though.
Yeah, I'm not researching though.
Me neither.
That's fuck you. You're both researching. You don't like it.
Well, he's not gonna be here next week, so.
Not?
That's fair.
Oh.
So
No.
I guess
I'll take Tom.
I'll take Sylvester, and then you can
If
just
I
do.
feel like it, I'll do it.
Do Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, just come in here with Sylvester Stallone.
He's
Well,
gonna lose, but
All right, guys.